At the age of 90, most people have long abandoned sports and an active lifestyle. But Ernestine Shepard continues to run in the morning, work out in the gym, and looks so energetic that her age seems like a mistake. What helps her maintain her youth, strength, and well-being at the age of 90? And why does one of her main secrets have nothing to do with genetics? Today, we will analyze Ernestine's habits and principles that can help everyone stay healthy and active for many years to come. Therefore, be sure to watch the video to the end. Some of her approaches can completely change your understanding of aging. When people talk about youth, they often recall creams, treatments, and various ways to combat age-related changes. But Ernestine shows a completely different approach. She doesn't try to stop time. Instead, she creates conditions for her body in which it continues to function as efficiently as possible, even at a very mature age. The first and perhaps the most important secret is constant movement. Please note that we are not talking about rare bursts of activity when a person suddenly decides to take care of himself after a long break. Ernestine moves regularly. She doesn't turn sports into a temporary project for a few weeks. For her, movement is a natural part of life. She has a special love for morning running. Many people underestimate the benefits of this habit. Meanwhile, light running helps to improve the functioning of the cardiovascular system, maintain endurance, and stimulate blood circulation. But there is another important effect. Morning jogging seems to tell the body the day has begun, it's time to work. This helps to maintain high energy levels throughout the day. If you haven't been running for a long time, don't immediately try to repeat other people's results. It is much more useful to start by walking normally at a brisk pace. Then gradually add short intervals of light running. This approach significantly reduces the risk of injury and allows the body to adapt without unnecessary stress. However, Ernestine is not limited to running alone. Another important part of her lifestyle is strength training. Many people make the serious mistake of believing that weight training is only necessary for the young. In fact, after the age of 50, strength training becomes even more important. With age, a person begins to lose muscle mass. This process occurs gradually and often imperceptibly. Along with the muscles, strength decreases, posture deteriorates. It becomes more difficult to maintain balance and perform familiar household tasks. That is why Ernestine regularly trains in the gym. It is especially important that she studies according to a specific plan. This is a very valuable lesson for all viewers. Many people come to the gym and do random exercises without a system. It is much more effective to have a clear program and gradually move forward. Another interesting point is the use of dumbbells. Simple exercises with dumbbells help strengthen the muscles of the whole body, improve coordination of movements, and maintain joint mobility. Even a few workouts a week can produce noticeable results. But Ernestine's physical activity is interesting not only for the very fact of training, it is also important how she relates to this process. She likes to study with her friends. At first glance, it may seem that this has nothing to do with youth. In fact, it does. And what else? Loneliness is now considered one of the most serious health risk factors. Some studies show that chronic social isolation can have an effect on the body comparable to bad habits. When a person regularly communicates, laughs, and spends time in pleasant company, stress levels decrease and their emotional state becomes more stable. Ernestine spends a lot of time among her friends. She doesn't lock herself in four walls and doesn't allow age to limit her social circle. Moreover, joint training helps to keep motivated. When you have like-minded people around, it's much easier to stick to healthy habits for many years. If you want to adopt this principle, try to find an interest group. It can be a Nordic walking club, dancing, swimming, yoga, or even regular walks in company. The main thing is to combine activity with live communication. The following secret may surprise many. Ernestine carefully monitors her appearance. She loves makeup, dresses beautifully, and even chooses stylish and comfortable clothes for training. This may seem like a small thing to some, but in fact, there is an important psychological mechanism hidden here. When a person stops taking care of himself, she gradually begins to perceive himself as older than she really is. And the inner feeling of age often affects behavior much more strongly than the numbers in the passport. Ernestine shows a completely different approach. She continues to like herself, continues to pay attention to her appearance, and does not believe that age should deprive a person of the desire to look good. Of course, nutrition cannot be ignored. Ernestine is attentive to what is on her plate. At the same time, her approach cannot be called extreme. She does not pursue trendy diets and does not try to complicate her life with endless restrictions. Stability is much more important for health and longevity. The body likes predictability. When a person regularly receives sufficient amounts of protein, fiber, healthy fats, and essential trace elements, it is much easier for them to maintain a high energy level. The practical advice for the audience is very simple. Instead of looking for magical foods, start asking yourself before every meal, will this food help my body feel better in a few hours? This approach gradually changes eating habits without strict prohibitions. But Ernestine's deepest secret isn't even about exercise or nutrition. It's in the head. She refuses to conform to age stereotypes. People create most of the restrictions themselves. Someone in their 40s says it's too late to start exercising. Someone in their 50s thinks that the best years are behind them. Someone at 60 stops dreaming of new goals. But age very often turns out to be not an obstacle, but just a number. Ernestine shows by her example that a person's capabilities are much broader than is commonly believed. She doesn't ask herself what she's supposed to do at 90. Instead, she asks what she really wants to do. That's why her story inspires millions of people around the world. It shows that age does not determine your capabilities. It's much more important what habits you create today. And perhaps the best time to start taking care of your future health and longevity is not tomorrow, not a month from now, and not after another Monday. The best moment starts right now. Friends, what do you think about this woman? Write your opinion in the comments. If this video was useful to you, then please like it and share the link with those who might find it particularly useful. We also recommend watching this video, which has now appeared on your screen.